In this step, we're going to be demonstrating how we can set up a 3-point lighting system by using an add-on. Before we create our 3-point lighting setup in our scene, we're going to take our original light object and we're going to delete it, because we're not going to need this anymore. Next, we're going to introduce add-ons for the first time. Go to the Edit menu here in the header bar of the Blender UI and left click. At the bottom of this menu, you will be able to access the user preferences. Open this up in a separate window. We have a wide variety of options that we can manipulate from the preferences panel, but the one we're interested in is this one, add-ons. Add-ons allow us to introduce new functionality into Blender. Many add-ons already exist within Blender but are not yet enabled, such as the ones that you see here. We want a 3-point lighting setup. Now, I believe this is known as tri-lighting in Blender, so I'm going to go to the search bar here and type in tri. The third option here is for tri-lighting, so I'm just going to open this up and we get some useful information, including the location within Blender where we're going to be able to find this functionality. Left click to enable this add-on and then close. Now we're going to select our main object, which is Bob. We're going to want the lights to be focused on Bob, so we need to select him first and then bring up the Add menu. This time, instead of adding a mesh object, we're going to add a light object. We can add different light types, but the final option is going to be for the 3-point lighting setup. This will not be visible if you do not enable the add-on. Left click and 3 lights are going to be added to your scene. They are going to be named here in the outliner panel, so we've got a key light, a fill light and a background light. Let's now take a look at our scene through our camera. So click on the camera button and then we're going to transition to our rendered viewport shading. It doesn't appear as though our lights are working, but that's simply because the power of each light is a little bit too low. What we can do is we can select our lights, for example the key light, and then increase the power. It's set to 3 watts, which is far too low. I'm going to set this up to 400 as a starting point. That looks pretty good. Next, let's add a fill light and increase the power to 250. Finally, I'll take the background light and increase this to 175. That's a pretty good lighting setup for our render. So now we've created a scene where we are able to light around our main model using a 3-point lighting setup. At this stage, everything that we have wanted to do has been done. We've created our models, set up our scene, applied materials, and even set up the lighting. That just leaves us with one final stage, and that is to render our image.